guys, it's 848 Phantom. You join me on a glorious Sunday. The weather's amazing, long time coming. And of course we're on the Antrim Coast Road, one of my favourite parts of this country. It really is like an amazing road. If you've never been round this on a bike, get out here, try it. If you're coming over on holiday, I know McCallum's hire motorcycles, so you can hire a bike and experience it. Of course, on a Sunday, you're only just going to be bobbling along. Because the traffic, obviously. And of course, you're sticking to the speed limits. But yeah, I think this road was voted number 3 must-see sites in the world. Good going. It's just amazing road, like. But speaking of good things in this country, a lot will disagree with me. Maybe have started an argument and a few unsubscribes, but I know recently they were talking about a new statue for George Best at some football pitch. And as you know, or some of you don't know, the city airport is called George Best Airport, named it after him. And they also had George Best £5 notes. But well, this is the thing. He was a good footballer and all. He was well known for that, but I think he was well known for his off the pitch antics. I really thought, is that really who we need to be naming an airport after? There's so many other things. You know, what about Joy Dunlop? I know people say football's more popular, but there's people around the world know Joy Dunlop. And when he wasn't racing, putting his life on the line for the sport that he loved, he was out running van loads of supplies to countries that needed it. Great humanitarian. Haven't seen the Northern Ireland £5 note for Joy Dunlop yet. And I haven't seen the airports named after him. You got the leisure centre in Ballymoney. You know. And we've also the guy from Queens that made the portable defibrillator. Sort of, you know, how many lives has that thing saved? But it was another thing that popped up on my news feed, and it was some photo competition. And this is the thing, it was rated like one of the best photos, or well, competition to be in one of the best. I don't know if they actually won it, but it's a photo of a friggin' bonfire in the middle of the street. You know, like, look in front of me now, look at the scenery, look around. There's so much to see in this country, not to mention Newcastle, the Silent Valley, the Mournes. There's so much to this country, but a frickin' bonfire in a housing estate is like best photo. There's so much more to this country than fucking ranting, excuse the French. But oh, it really gets my goat, you know, stuff like that. Like, it'd be interesting to know what you guys think. You English, American, Australian viewers from around the world. When someone says Northern Ireland, what do you think of? Do you think of this? Or do you think of riots and marches and shootings and bombings? Because hopefully them days are behind us, or well, a few generations will be behind us. But I think there's more to this country. I'd be interested to know what you guys think as well. So yeah, the last time I was out I had an interesting journey on the way home in my last vlog. My brake pads gave out on the way back. Now I know I'll get people saying, well, you should check them every time before you go out and whatnot, but thing is, I only put the pads on at the end of last year. They had just under 900 miles on them and they were done. But yeah, so this is the first out. The last pads were Dunlops, and I don't know, I've never heard of pads lasting that short a length of time. So I've went with ABC double H centered this time, the pad that I always have used and always trust. The other ones were a trial. One thing I noticed as well when I did change pads is I've had a partial piston failure, well, not failure, seizure on the right hand side. And yeah, so basically for anybody that hasn't done it before, it's quite easy to fix. Basically get your two old pads, take the caliper off, pump it to get the pistons out, and then spray a lot of WD-40 and get a bit of cloth, start rubbing all the carbon off, and then just work the pistons in and out. Use the two old pads with a big screwdriver between them or a G-clamp and push the pistons back in, and then pump them to bring them out. So you're pumping them in and out, in and out. Keep lubing them, keep rubbing them, and eventually they start freeing up. And you'll know when they go free because whenever you brake and release the brake, the pistons move back a millimetre, if even that. But you'll see them moving back. And whether at that stage that they're moving back, that's them freed up. I can only assume whenever I got this bike, it was down metal on the left hand side, and I can only assume that that was why the pads were binding. But even at that, binding or not, now I had one side was worn more than the other, but both sides were gone, were down. So I think it must have been race pads I was given. No way road pads should go that quick. The only thing I have found, I don't know if I've mentioned in another vlog, of a slight warp. And basically I assume that's what's going on. The caliper had been binding, and then that had made a partial sort of overheating of the disc, causing it to warp. But yeah, all good fun. So the majority of this morning was spent, well, after I got out of work, was spent freeing up the piston and cleaning the bike, because I nipped up to the Wild Geese yesterday, Skydive Centre, to pick up my new top. Absolutely chucking it down. But sure, what's the point of having a bike if you don't take it out? Frick this dry weather bollocks. Okay, dry weather like this is brilliant, especially with nice clear roads and a road like this. But fucking hell. Jesus Christ, they must have dug up a bit there. Yeah, I'm gonna be speaking in a higher octave now. There goes the family allowance. Anyway, I'm gonna mosey on. I'll catch you guys later. As I say, shiny side up, rubber side down. See you later.